my name is Matt Gabriel. I'm the varsity band director at Quincy Junior High School. It's a privilege for me to talk to you today about the varsity band. We are co-teaching the class this year, Ms. Johnson, myself, and my student teacher, Ben Schultz.
Hi everybody, my name is Ben Schultz. I'm a Quincy native. I majored in music ed, instrumental from Western Illinois University, and I really cherish the opportunity to work with the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade bands.
Ben's been doing a great job, and we've got a great team of people working with your students this year. This will be my 11th year working at Quincy Junior High School, teaching the varsity band, and I'm super excited to work with the students again this year. It's something I always look forward to, especially as an alumni of the program, and we couldn't be more proud of the way that the year and the way the students have handled this year so far. We'd just like to take a couple minutes and talk to you about things that you might find important and that we'd like to share with you about our class this year. The first is that we're doing our very best to keep all of your students safe. And I've been really proud of how well students have handled our new procedures this year to deal with the COVID experience and everything that they've done to make this year happen. Currently, Ben and I are working with students down in the annex of Quincy Junior High School, and Ms. Johnson is working with students in the varsity band, particularly the woodwinds and percussion up in the band room. So we've done our best to keep our students socially distanced, with us having the brass down there and the woodwinds and percussion up there. And we've worked as a team to still provide the great quality of education that Quincy Public Schools is known for. We want to bring you up to speed on some things that the students will need this year. This is something we always talk about during our back to school night, is that your students, please make sure they have 3 books, and for the most part, all of them have these already, but just as a quick reminder, they'll need the blue Foundations. We call it the Foundations for Superior Performance book. They'll need their book 2. We call it the red Essential Elements book. And they'll need a 150 book. And we use these books each week, working on different concepts throughout them. So if you can just check to make sure your students have them and that they have their name on them, because they always get left behind. And Mr. Schultz and I are trying to get those back to the students. So if you could take a minute and make sure they have these 3 books, have their name on it, that would be great. We also want to ask you to make sure your student has an instrument in good working condition. They've got extra reeds, they've got oil, they've got all the things that they need to have an instrument in good working condition each week. And you can purchase all of these books and that through our local music store here in town. So if you can just check with them when they get home to make sure that they have everything, that would be great. We've been working on some full band music that each student should have, and if not, we've posted in Microsoft Teams. This year we're using Microsoft Teams to communicate with our online learners, and also that's where we'll be posting a lot of the notes and assignments. So we ask that you check, or the students check their Teams channel frequently. You'll see the 7th grade varsity band, and sometimes that's confusing. Varsity band, we call it varsity band because sometimes we get students from the parochial schools that are actually in a different grade level. So that's what that means. Primarily it's 7th grade students, but at times we have students from different grade levels in our band. So if you can find varsity band on Teams, you'll see that there's a channel and for class materials, and that's where we posted notes, and that's where we posted the music. So if we have our virtual learners at home, that's where they can access all of the things that we are doing in class. We are also communicating with our virtual learners through Microsoft Teams and doing individual lessons and group lessons with them remotely. So I couldn't be more proud as an alumni of the program and to work with Mr. Schultz, Ms. Johnson, and all of our wonderful faculty here to provide your students with a great experience in the varsity band at Quincy Junior High School. So as always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can reach me on email, gabr1630@qps.org, or you can call the high school music office. As many of you know, I also teach at the high school, and that's probably the best place to reach me at 217-224-3774. Thank you so much for the opportunity to work with your kids, and we look forward to another great year.
Hi, and welcome to Curriculum Night 2020. I'm Debbie Johnson, and I'm pleased to be the lead teacher for our 6th grade band students and our 8th grade band students this year. I have a Bachelor's of Music Ed and a Master's of Education and Administration from Quincy University. I'm married to Doug, and we have 2 children, Jordan, who is a sophomore at the University of Iowa, and Courtney, who is a junior here at QHS. I'm happy that we are working with a large staff of people helping our students gain the knowledge they need. Some teachers that your students may mention are Mr. Gabriel, Mrs. Baxter, Mr. Breen, Mr. Kagan, or Mr. Saylor. And we also are very lucky to have Mr. Schultz with us this year as a student teacher. Our groups are divided for safety due to COVID this year, but they're gaining many skills that they would not have if we weren't able to make those smaller groups. We're focusing on their next level of musicianship and more advanced work within their instrument-specific areas. You should have received an August mailer in the form and a form in the mail right at the beginning of school. Looks something like this. And this second form, the last form of the packet, should have been returned to us by now. And if you haven't had a chance to do that, please do that right away. There's also a band information form that has been loaded onto your students' Microsoft Teams that they should be filling out for us. Grading in band is based on daily performance in class. Our performances, which are still to be announced based on our COVID restrictions, weekly practice reports, which is an online form, and playing assessments that we do within our classroom. I will be communicating with your students through Teams. I also have Remind for our parents and Skyward emails. If you have not already done so, please join the Friends of the Performing Arts. They are a great organization that help all of our arts students throughout the entire district. Some new information for 8th grade only. We're hoping that by the spring some of these restrictions have lifted and we'll be doing a little bit of marching and possibly a national competition in St. Louis. Fingers crossed that those things get to happen. If you need to contact me, my email is listed on the website and can be found in our directory, johnsode@qps.org, or call the music office, 224-3774. Once again, so happy to be working with your kids and glad that you're still part of our QPS Music Department family. Bye.
Hi, my name is Chad Ensinger. I teach advanced varsity concert orchestras at Quincy Junior High. I have a bachelor's in music from Wheaton College, and I'm a master's in music education from WRU. This is now my 14th year of teaching strings and my 10th year here in Quincy. My orchestra classes this year are doing things a little different due to COVID. We have split the advanced 6th grade orchestra into 3 groups, which are being taught by myself and my colleagues, Mrs. Oddie, Mrs. Snyder, and Miss Ball. With everything going on, we have the guidelines, the new guidelines that we're following, like keeping kids 6 feet separate and facing forward in class, and we're not sharing stands and folders anymore. So it's been an interesting year teaching with these new guidelines in the orchestra, as we traditionally have like a semicircle setting where everybody's kind of facing forward and looking at the conductor, where I'm up there conducting and trying to keep everybody together. So without that, I've been doing some different ways of trying to keep everybody together. I've got a wood block that I'm just beating the wood block, giving the steady beat. On a device I have a recorded drum set that I've been using to play along with to keep people together since they can't see me, and just playing along myself. I get my instruments out and just play along with their parts to help everybody work that through to keep everybody together. The concert schedule being in a TBA status, we are focusing more on playing techniques and less on the concert preparation. But since we lost some time last year at the end of the year, it's been a relatively good thing to do that, as we were able to make significant progress on our musicianship levels. To further this progress, I will, as always, be expecting weekly practice logs submitted via email, Remind, Microsoft Teams, and I will allow paper copies. I know some of you have struggled to get the virtual practice logs to me, but I do recommend the virtual submissions. I have myself made some significant progress learning how to teach remotely this year and last. One of my biggest changes I've made, I've been able to create video lessons and PowerPoints, which can, on each instrument, and can make these available to the students on, again, Teams. I use Clever. Skyward, I can email out on Skyward, and Google Drive. I use Google Drive a lot. So the students in the remote classes have been using these videos and PowerPoints almost exclusively to learn how to play their checkoffs. But I really encourage the in-person students as well to be using these resources to help them remember all the different, I tell the students we have like dance steps we have to do all over a fingerboard to be able to create the music. Late assignments. Late assignments are always accepted in an orchestra. Even practice logs can be turned in late, but I will start deducting points on practice logs as they get more and more late. But then the checkoffs, playing tests can be, it should be retried as many times as needed until we reach a good level of competency on those playing tests. Feel free to contact me via Remind, email. Voicemail is not generally a good way to reach me, but if you want to chat sometime, just give me a quick email or something, and I will reach you at that email, that whatever phone number you can tell me to reach you at. I will be sending messages out to the students regularly on Remind and Teams, but find that Remind is working best so far. If you have not yet signed up for the Remind classes, please do so, and I'll be happy to help. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Megan Loesch, and I am the junior high choir director. I graduated from Illinois Wesleyan with a Bachelor of Music Education, and this is my first year at the Quincy Public Schools. So a regular day in choir for the in-person students will consist of them arriving to class, and they'll do a vocal warm-up, they'll learn their songs, and also be doing little theory lessons, possibly learning note names, rhythms, counting, solfege, and all the good stuff that helps them learn to sing better. The online students are a little bit different since they cannot sing at the same time as me or hear a piano at the same time. So I have them learning the same theory lessons so that when they return to choir, they will be able to sing a little better, they'll know all the terms, and they won't be too far behind. We're hoping to have them back soon. A concert will look a little different this year as well. Since we can't all be here at the same time, we're hoping to make a video, which will include the online and in-person students and what they've learned about the songs, what they're learning in choir, just so you know what they're doing, and we can give you something to share from our class to your home. Their grades are a little different. They'll be doing some worksheets, not worksheets, but online assignments for online students. They'll be graded on their participation in online class and in-person class, in concert and practicing, that sort of stuff. The best way to reach me is at my email, which is loschme@qps.org.